Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Addicted Soul, and this is your friend Tushar saying hello to you all. It's been around 2 months that I haven't posted any videos on my YouTube channel Addicted Soul. The reason behind this is that I was not in town and I'm pretty much occupied with some work. So without any further ado, now I will be presenting you with my some of the new pens and some of the old workhorse pens which I use in my daily routine of writing. Let's start with first pen, and this is the locally made Ebonite pen, and I have fitted this pen with this Jinhao nib and a Ebonite feeder, medium nib, extensively great writer, and another locally made Ebonite pen in green and yellow shades, cylindrical shape, again #6 nib, and this is a Kanwrite nib with a Ebonite feeder. It's a fine to medium nib. And another local pen that I'll show you is this. This is black Ebonite pen and with a dot on top and fitted with a 5.5 nib, which is a local nib, and it is a extra fine nib. Another pen that I want to share with you is one more Eyedropper Ebonite pen. It is again a locally made pen. I have purchased these pens from various states, and it's again a #6 nib with a Ebonite feeder from Kanwrite, and this is also a fine nib. Now this pen is from Mohi. Mohi is a pen maker from Maharashtra, and this is beautiful green and black spiral design on this. It's again a Ebonite pen eyedropper with these threads at the back so that the cap can post like this. And now you can see it's again a plastic feed pen with a medium nib, locally made medium nib, steel nib. And this is also a very great writer. I have been using this pen for around 5 to 6 years now. Another pen is the acrylic pen. This is the acrylic pen in tricolor, Indian flag tricolor pen, and it's fitted with a Kanwrite nib. It's a double broad nib with a Ebonite feeder. I'll also show you the writing samples soon with all these pens. Now the next one is this. This is Airmail 71 JBD, and this is a marvelous pen. This nib on this pen is really bouncy, and this nib gives a feedback with the Ebonite feed, and the ink flow is tremendously wet. This is one of my favorite pens. Now let's come to some Chinese pens. I have recently purchased this pen. This is Jinhao X159 with a big nib. It's a #8 nib and fine nib. And this pen is a wonderful workhorse and wonderful writer. You can see the feed, the channels of the feed. The ink flow is marvelous, and this pen is working so good on the paper. It glides actually on the paper. Now this one is another Jinhao pen. This is Jinhao 100, and this one is with the fine nib and writes really smooth, really crazy. A slight bounce on the nib is there when you write on the paper. The same model I have got one more, it's in red color, and this one is with the medium nib. This one is fine, this one is medium. Rest all is the same plastic feed, steel nib, cartridge converter pen, and another model from Jinhao that I use in my daily routine is Jinhao 80. And the best thing I have done with this pen is I have replaced the nib of this pen. The local nib I have replaced with the Lamy Safari fine nib. So this is the nib that I have you can see I have replaced the nib with Lamy Safari, and this pen is a tremendous sight. Such a good boy this pen is. Another fantastic pen. It's a very cheap quality pen from China, and as you can see this, there is a company HYL, some HYL brand is there, which it's what you say, it's a replica of Moonman pens, Moonman M2, but this pen is very cheap. It's fitted with a cheap steel extra fine nib with a plastic feeder, and it has got a actually it has got a nib unit, so you can replace it there. You can remove the nib and you can replace the complete unit. I'll show you the performance of this pen also. It's a Demonstrator. Another pen in my daily routine is this, my Diplomat Excellence. This is a gold nib pen, and here's the nib. As you can see, this is the gold nib pen. I have reviewed this pen in my previous videos. You can go and see that. Check this video out. So let me show you the writing samples of these pen one by one, and then I'll show you how these pens write. So I am not using any fountain pen friendly paper or anything. I am using just this, a very locally, a very cheap and very handy locally made pad from Neelgagan company. And I have been, as you can see, how I am exploiting the pages. I am using the pages for nib testing and ink testing. See, so I will be using this pad only today, and I'll show you how this pen works on a local paper. This is a very local pad, local paper. The page is very, as you can see, the normal page, 50-60 gram page, and you can see the performance of all these pens on this paper. So let me start with the broad nib, double broad nib first. And this is the pen. This is the Kanwrite double broad nib, and the ink that I have filled is Daytone green ink. So double broad nib, Kanwrite, and Daytone ink. See the performance of these pens. And now let's take another Ebonite pen. This one, this is also a marvelous writer, fitted with a local Jinhao nib. Local Jinhao nib. Ebonite pen. Pilot blue ink. These pens are such a good writer, I tell you. Now this one is again airmail, as I told you, airmail pen. 71 JBD. Daytone blue ink. I have added a pinch of, say, couple of drops of black ink with blue to make it blue black. Now another pen, which is this, again a locally made Ebonite pen, local made nib, steel nib. This pen is filled with Daytone, again Daytone ink, and I have added one more ink with black and magenta, I think, to get this shade. And now this one is with the fine nib, again I think, yes. This is a Daytone brown ink, and extra, this is a fine nib with a Ebonite feed. The feed is from Kanwrite, and as you can see, the writing sample of this pen. Now this one is Mohi. Mohi is from Maharashtra, as I have told you. It's a medium nib with a plastic feed. Daytone green ink. I think it's sea green or something like that, and this one is grass green. This one is again Ebonite pen, locally made, filled with Daytone purple ink, extra fine writer. So the ink is Daytone purple, extra fine 5.5 nib. Now let's come to the Chinese pens. This is the first one that I'll show you, and let them keep aside all these pens. Let me share the performance of this extra fine nib with you. Filled with Daytone black. Chinese. Demonstrator. It's an eyedropper filler with a nib unit. You won't get this kind of cheap pen with nib units, but when you buy stuff from China, you can have things that you haven't thought of before. So this is one of a kind, very cheap pen, $100 or less than $100, I think. So I've got around 10 pens of this brand, HYL, the same pen. Some of them are extra fine nib, some are fine and some are medium. And this one is Jinhao 80, which I have recently purchased around 2 or 3 months back, and the performance of this pen is very good the day I have changed the nib. I won't recommend you to use this pen with a local nib because I didn't like the local nib at all. It's a very crappy nib. I have changed the nib with fine Lamy Safari nib, and after changing the nib, the performance of this pen is impeccable. You can see this. I filled it with Daytone black. It's a converter pen. So as you can see, this is the pen filled with converter. And I've been using this pen with the plastic feed. I've been using this pen for around, say, 2 to 3 months now. And I've been extensively writing with this pen. And day I've changed the nib, the performance of this pen have exceeded my thoughts. And this is the pen I love from China, and another lovable pen from China is this Jinhao X159. It's a big pen, Mont Blanc replica, Mont Blanc copy. The nib is a big, huge nib, size 8 nib, I think, with a plastic feed. And as you can see, the Jinhao X159. Amazing pen. Never skips, never dries out, never gives a hard start. Ultimate pen. Ultimate performance of this pen is there. I filled this pen with, I think, Daytone Prussian blue with some royal blue mixed with some royal blue ink. And let's use the back side of this pen for rest of the pen, which is Jinhao 100. So this Jinhao 100 is with fine nib and this Jinhao 100 is with medium nib. So I'll show you. This is filled with Daytone orange, default nib from Jinhao, fine says fine. So Jinhao 100, converter pen, fine nib, and Daytone orange. So as you can see, this pen also writes very smooth, glides over the paper, and this is the fine nib and this is the medium nib. Jinhao 100, medium nib, Daytone coral red ink. See how the nib glides over the paper. It's running smooth like butter. And now this is gold nib pen, Diplomat Excellence. I have used Krishna, Volcano ink, this pen, and you can see a slight shade in this writing because I think Volcano gives the sheening effect when used with this pen. So guys, as you can see, everything is in front of you, the performance of all the pens and the nibs, and see, this is the performance and this is the different kind of nib writing samples in front of you. So I would say I love my pens, and I will be sharing soon the reviews of these pens with you all. And for now, that's all. I hope you will like this video, and you have found some important and very knowledgeable experience from this video in terms of pens and their writing samples. So do comment and do share your thoughts, what you like about these pens, and what you want to know about these pens. If you are a fountain pen lover like me, you can throw whatever questions you have, and I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. That's all for now, and I'll see you soon with the review of any of the pens that you like. You can just share your thoughts in comment box and let me know which pen would you like to get reviewed first. So guys, thanks a lot. Thanks for your time. Please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and share these videos. I'll see you soon. Thank you. Vande Mataram. Bye bye. Take care. Jai Hind.